This is KSWO TV, Channel 7 in Lawton and Wichita Falls. You can count on us.
The Lawton City Council votes to cut its salaries, all to cut grass.
When people come into Lawton, the first thing you see is a city well kept.
But in the end, they decide the salaries will stay, but the tall grass will go. Lawmakers were scheduled to end the 2009 legislative session today, but it looks as if it'll spill over into next week. Why one bill to consolidate several offices into one is holding things up.
And will the upcoming weekend be a washout? We'll let you know for Memorial Day. Straight ahead.
Live from Lawton, Fort Sill, broadcasting across Texoma, this is 7 News Tonight.
High grass is giving some Lawton homeowners headaches. City Councilman Jay Burke's been getting lots of complaints about grass not getting mowed in public areas, so he brought it before the Lawton City Council at its last budget review. The problem is the current city staff can't keep up with all the mowing, and the city can't afford to contract it out. So, to help pay for it, Burke and a few others voted to give up their salaries for a year. Well, the measure passed, but not for long. Council members quickly turned around and voted their salaries back in. And that's tonight's big story. 7 News reporter Garrett Cryer is live tonight at one of those places where the tall grass grows. Garrett, you're in Dearborn at Wilson Park, so this is actually a park where kids are supposed to be able to play.
Jan, that's right. It's supposed to be. Several hours ago, kids who played in this park would have gotten lost in all the weeds and the grass, but since then the city has mowed, but they did leave one weed behind. Check out this weed. It's about 54.5 inches tall, about 4.5 feet. I'm 6'1", and it almost comes up to my shoulders. Weeds like this are the reason that residents like Bill Swafford are so upset. Weeds and grass as far as the eye can see. This is Wilson Park, right at the center of a residential area. Bill Swafford is one of the residents who lives across the street. Swafford says the high grass is more than just an eyesore.
It's a health hazard. It's a health hazard. And what's the use of having a park if the kids can't get in it and play?
He says his neighbors have told him bugs are making a home out of the park.
That's Mr. Bird across the street over there babysits his grandchildren. And yesterday afternoon they walked over here to the park to play, and he said the mosquitoes were so bad out in the grass there that he had to turn and go back to the house there with it.
Councilman Jay Burke agrees and says that's why he voted to have his salary cut for a year. He wants the money to go to getting the grass cut and other areas around town. He says he stands with them, even in tall grass full of bugs.
For one, I'm sorry. I hope that this being able to contract this out is going to make a difference, and I think it will. I think we'll be able to do it and get the contractor out there immediately to get it mowed, keep it down to a reasonable size.
And he says it's not just for residents. Visitors judge a city by how it looks.
And that's what we live for. When people come into Lawton, the first thing you see is a city well kept.
Swafford, for one, says no.
Dandelions and the Johnson grass, as you can see up through there, it's already coming to a head up there. So when the wind blows, it'll come right across over here.
I did speak with a few of the council members that voted against the salary cutting measure. Councilman Doug Wells tells me that he voted against contracting out more workers because he says he'd like to take a wait and see approach. And even though the council didn't approve the salary cutting measure, they did approve contracting out more workers. Reporting live from Wilson Park, Garrett Cryer, 7 News.
And Wells also told 7 News the current economic slump played a big factor in his vote. Now, the budget has not been approved yet. The public does have a chance to sound off at a public hearing on Tuesday. If the budget is approved, the contracting would begin July 1st. Another city government note to pass on